Hello everyone and welcome to State of the Realm, your weekly, or it would seem so, at least sometimes, weekly Final Fantasy XIV podcast. This week we're back after a break last week, after I had to do some traveling, plus was rather busy with some other stuff the days before. But we have a topic for the show, and it is of course the live letter number 45, which includes our first look at patch 4.4, a very short and rushed look, I may say so now. A reminder about Pago, some other stuff that's coming up, as well as the Monster Hunter collaboration in excruciating detail, what they'll be doing for that as well as Yoshida addressing a popular topic that we didn't get to hit on last week because, well, we didn't have a show. But anyway, I'm one of your hosts, Michael, Mr. Happy Pobrom. Of course, joining me is Sly, aka Slythefox, aka Sly, aka Greyfox, aka my boy Blue. How you doing?
Good. A break's good sometimes.
What happened?
Yeah. I said a break is good sometimes.
A break is... Last week was an important break. I needed that break last week. But more so, it's just our schedule for the last month and a half has been insane with like a Friday here, a Monday here, a Tuesday here, a week off. It's like, I mean, that's just been this summer. It's been one of those summers for like gaming and gaming events and scheduling and releases and things. Yeah, things. It's been absolutely nutty. How have you handled this last week, Sly?
Well, I realized that I've had too many goddamn games.
Sounds like not a real problem, Sly.
Yeah, first world problem. Yeah, we can call it that, but still, it's a problem. The addition of the Nintendo Fryer, aka the Switch, like added. Yeah, because Octopath is a chicken, and everybody's talking about the chicken. Everybody's talking about the chicken.
Sly, you just came from Bojangles. That's the chicken.
Yeah, people are talking about the chicken. You're eating the chicken too, like so you can't.
Dude, I'm not just eating the chicken, dude. I swallowed it whole.
Yeah,
I just took a whole rotisserie and I was just like, just like had fucking Mel jumping on the top to slam it down my fucking throat. This whole conversation could be taken very poorly out of context.
Pretty much.
There you go.
But yeah, too many goddamn games. That's my issue.
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's funny because this is not the time of year that's supposed to be the problem. That'll be August and September where that becomes a real problem. Because
and a little bit of October.
Yeah, a little bit of October. I'll give you that definitely. But we got some stuff to talk about this week, Sly.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. However, our schedule is going to be really weird because of one of the things we found out from the live letter 45 in terms of State of the Realm. But we'll I guess touch on that a little bit later. Before we dive into that, Sly, there's something else that we got to cover. We have a monthly Steel Series giveaway.
Yes, we do.
While I was away, it ended, so I got to pull a winner. So if you don't mind, I'd like to do that first, so that way people know on the YouTube video tomorrow to look for the one for the July giveaway. Because as soon as this one ends, when the video gets posted tomorrow on YouTube, the July giveaway is going to start. So
and Leo business.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, SteelSeries have been sponsoring my channel personally for years, and they wanted to sponsor State of the Realm, where they give away something free every month. So in the YouTube video, there's a Gleam.io link, and you can go there and you can enter the giveaway. It's too late to enter the one I'm drawing for now, and those of you watching on YouTube can scroll down now and look for the one for July. But we got a full winner, assuming that there's a name that I can actually repeat. I don't like to repeat people's full names, but if there's like a I guess an alias to go by. And it looks like we do indeed have one. We have Junior Cito. So that's the person I just drew for the winner over on Gleam.
Congrats.
What are the odds that he's probably not here, probably just watches on YouTube, which is fine. But they can't even be excited about the person being here. So Junior Cito, if you're watching this, check your email because I'm gonna send you one. and it's going to say, hey, I need the info so I can send you the thing that you have rightfully earned at this point. Sound good, Sly? I still gotta get you your birthday present. I've been away, so I didn't get it yet. All right. For those of you watching, go to the YouTube video when it comes out, or if you're watching it now on YouTube, and scroll down, and there's our monthly Steel Series giveaway. So free shit, yay!
Woo!
Woo! We'll do the sponsor list reading at the end this week, Sly, because we want to get into this live letter information. I think personally. Yeah. So Sly, before we go into any specifics about the live letter, what did you think about this live letter overall? Because I was like, this is one of the first live letters where I've been like,
something. Holy shit, that Rathalos fight looks good. Yeah, that's pretty much the live letter.
Okay, I'd say that's relatively comparable to my emotion towards it. What about the part before Rathalos?
There was a part before Rathalos?
Supposedly.
I mean, like, all the Pago stuff looks decent. Surprised about the dungeon. Semi-surprised, because I knew it would eventually happen from a lore standpoint, from what we've seen.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah. Wrath.
I mean, there's not much to say about that. Sorry, I'm trying to fix. I have some anti-aliasing here, so I'm just fixing and I'm messing with my own camera while we're having this discussion. But I guess here's the thing: it was everything I expected from a 4.4 Part 1 live letter, but it's not going to be fixed. But it was like so rushed to make time for this like interview with the people who came over from Capcom that I didn't ever really have time to stop and enjoy it.
I mean, in all honesty, I'm trying to speak from the devs' point of view, but this is my point of view too. In comparison, like Pagos and the Monster Hunter event, which to you kind of seems more important?
Monster Hunter event.
Okay, all right.
But Pagos didn't take that long. It was more the 4.4 stuff where it was like they rattled through it in like 25 minutes, and they just kept saying we don't have a lot of time. But in the hour where they had the Monster Hunter devs on, they spent a lot of time just doing the chit chat, which is fine. It's just like I feel like don't rush through the stuff that your player base is like excited to hear about, and then stick to the stuff that is like, okay, yeah, it's fun for the people who speak the language natively, but even then, it's still not, important to the scope of the game. Like, those are the kind of things that, like, maybe at a panel at a fan fest would be okay, because that's what you're going for. That's what you're tuning in for.
What, like a Q&A sort of kind of?
Yeah, like, when they do the panels at the fan fest or at any of the live events, when they do them, you tune in because that's what you're getting. There's no sort of false expectation. When you talk about a live letter for 4.4 and obviously the Monster Hunter World collab, I don't expect like almost half the amount of time to be taken up just talking about what the challenges were for like, oh man, that was hard to do this, it was hard to do that. It's like I just don't expect that volume of that, I suppose.
But we've had these live letters before. Like, this is nothing new.
But they've never been like, we have to rush through this and then give this all the time. Like, it felt like the content
there was nothing that important. Yeah, there was nothing that important.
There was only nothing that important because they didn't plan for there to be anything that important in the first half. Right. That's how I felt, at the very least. I'm like, if you're on a tight time limit, I feel like there's things that are more important and things that are less important. And I feel like if you're gonna say this isn't everything, but we're short on time, then I think your prerogative was a little off. That was the big thing, is when they said, oh, this isn't everything, but we're short on time. I was like, I'd rather you just take a little bit of time out of the one thing. Take 15 minutes from the one thing and put it towards the other thing. That's how I felt, at the very least.
Okay.
Their 4.4 overviews are never, like, in depth, but for them to say there was more and then just say, no, but we don't have time. It's like,
Do you feel like the content itself will reflect what we've seen, what they showed off and how they showed it off?
What do you mean?
Rushed?
No, I don't think so. It's just, it almost felt like, you know how a lot of people like to say, oh, they're in a formula, it's all the same, it's the same content patch schedule, rotation, blah, blah, blah. It felt like they had conceded to it in that live letter. They're like, fuck it, it's the same shit we do every time. Fuck it, get it done. We got the Monster Hunter people here. That's it. That's what it felt like, which is fine. It's just, that's how it felt. It's just not a great feeling from a live letter. So that's just how I felt. It just wasn't a satisfying live letter for me, in a sense.
Okay.
Just like compensating for the Capcom guys and just like taking away from news, I guess. That's how it felt for me.
Okay.
We did get some stuff though, Sly.
We did.
Pagos, release date. Man, were we wrong.
So wrong.
So we kept guessing it's got to be the 17th, right? Or it's at the latest it'll be the 24th. Sly, when was it?
August 7th.
August 7th. We could not have been more wrong in our guesses. Like, that's intense. So, with that, I want to pose to you a question, Sly.
Okay.
When we had this topic a few weeks ago, we said we wanted to see how it panned out, and it's specifically in regard to the staggering of content releases across point X patches, or point XX patches. How do you feel about that staggeredness or staggered approach, having seen the delay between point 3.5 and 0.36?
Honestly, I feel the same. Like, I really don't feel any different. I mean, yeah, it's a little later than we expected. A lot later. I'm sorry.
A lot later.
Yeah, let me catch myself there. A lot later than we expected. But yeah, it's roughly around a month, so I'm really not complaining.
I've got a few concerns.
Okay.
For one, this is a personal problem. It's in August, and I don't need anything else in August. That's a personal problem.
That's a personal problem.
I'm not going to
get to the us problems, the community problems.
Listen, most of us have that problem because most of us are playing the same shit, okay?
Yeah. Okay.
So, okay, from a non-personal point, though, this is a month before 4.4, approximately. At this point, we're assuming patch 4.4 will be September 11th. At the latest, it would be the 18th. This puts us a month beforehand. This is normally when a 0.8 patch, for example, a 0.x8 patch would be coming out. And at this point, the relic you'll get, could be I-365, 370, won't really matter. You have 4 weeks before the item level increase pops. So there's almost no degree of appreciation for working on the relic. It feels straight up like a formality for working on it in the third installment in 4.4x, or for Glamour, which is a lot of the case for, it's the case for a lot of people. But for me, it's too late in the cycle for me to, I feel for the average player to have too much investment into terms of increasing their item level via a weapon. They've had so many weeks and so many opportunities at this point that it just feels too late along to put a relic weapon. It's just too close to the item level increase.
Do you think they're taking into consideration the fact that people are going to be doing this and get the weapon and get the fuck out and not even care about it anymore?
I almost feel like it's deliberately close to 4.4 because generally the even numbered patches are considered they're considered the harder patches. I know Ultimate is, obviously puts that up for debate regardless of the 4.5 situation. But the average player base doesn't do Savage, and that's usually the big draw for the even numbered patches. There's more and more people doing it, but it's still a minority activity compared to everything else. So it feels like it's almost deliberately closer to 4.4, so people who don't do Savage and maybe just revisit or visit the other things a couple of times, almost like they have like this longer term goal, like working on all the different weapons. But then you also have to consider the new Primal comes out in 4.4, and the weapon from that is absolutely going to be a higher item level. It's probably going to be 380 or 375, I mean.
Right.
Or is it 380? No, 385. 385 is probably going to be the item level for it. So it's just... it hits in a really weird spot for me. I don't know what the plan is there, or if they just wanted to make it at the same time as the Monster Hunter event, which is the same day, for deliberate purposes. I don't know what the plan is, and it doesn't read easily to me.
I mean, it feels like they intended for it to be at the same time of the Monster Hunter World event. I mean, more content, the better. And again, Monster Hunter World is permanent. This is permanent, but it will get far left behind in the dust in comparison to the Monster Hunter World event.
I agree. I 100% agree.
So, yeah, I think they did it for the sake of, releasing both forms of content at the same time.
Yeah, especially with what the Monster Hunter World event gives as a reward versus what's available in Pagos. I don't know. It doesn't sit well with me. The release date for the Monster Hunter event sits fine with me, being that same day, but the Pagos release just seems too far out. For me, like, if they had Pagos, then the Monster Hunter World event, then the next live letter, then 4.4, like, that seems very well staggered to me. That seems like a good approach, a good amount of content being spread out. It's just with them both being on the same day, there's, I guess, less excitement about it. I almost feel like I am making a choice between the two, even though I'll be done with one of them literally in like an hour or two.
Right. And we, again, like you said, we had this conversation many times about, content in general and like, should it be staggered? What if we get all of our content at the same time and then everybody rushes through it and has nothing to do for a month or 2 months or however long? I mean, at the end of the day, we have to live. We have to live with it now. This is the schedule. But I'm not too worried. I know you have concerns, but I'm not too worried.
It's not even a concern. It just doesn't feel like it's thought out well. Like it's their plan, but I don't agree with the plan. I think it should have been on the 17th or the 24th for Pagos, and then Monster Hunter event they could have left when it was. Personally, that's how I feel. At the very least. Especially, forget it. That's how I feel. I'm going to leave it at that. It doesn't matter. Especially, who cares? Especially, shut the hell up. That's what everyone wants to say. We did get a look at the relics for Pagos, though. We got to look at a single relic, of course, Yoshida. There's another thing, like, with them rushing the first half, like, normally they have, like, papers with, like, pictures of the different armor sets and stuff. They do that more in the second part, but, like, we got to see one relic right here, and it's like, oh, I play Black Mage. I'll just take a quick screenshot real quick of that. I do like it, though. That's the upgraded Pagos. That's the initial Pagos weapon when you upgrade it from the Onimos step. And I like it, but I want to see more than one.
More.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry about that data mining.
It's not there yet. I won't. That's not going to be until 4.36 drops, and then I'll just probably be able to see them at the vendor anyway.
Yeah, don't worry about that. You're fine.
All right, if you say so, Sly. And then that was, Pagos, they showed off, there was a couple of minions here. I think I have the minions here as well. They showed off, one of these minions was just, man, I wasn't ready when I saw this on the screen. The Momboro, as I'm calling it. She looks like she's about to go get like a perm or something at the local salon. She's all dressed up.
That looks like the mom who has to go to school to pick up their kid, and at like 10 a.m. she got the call from the principal. She's about ready to, yeah. That looks like that mom. Yeah.
I'm just saying that
she's ready to do something.
That's the Momboro. We also got another callback to Final Fantasy XI. By the way, the translations and these images are coming from the Reddit Discord. The translations and mining section. Hezkezel did the images, and Illuna did the translation. So just shout out to them real quick.
Thank you.
Yes. And then, yeah, we have a little Tarotaro and a Vermilion Cloak. That is not a Lalafell. That is a Tarotaro from Final Fantasy XI. It's just, I don't know what to say about that. I mean, that's Eureka in a nutshell, though, right?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but Sly, you know what's more exciting than a Tarotaro minion?
What's that?
When they're short on time and they spend another 20 minutes talking about the companion app.
Okay.
And that's it. They didn't say anything new about it, other than it's planned for late July, early August, pending approval.
Right.
It's just this. They said the same thing again.
Yeah. So, get ready to nut, everybody.
Just remember, if you pay $5 a month, not only do you get to 2 nuts a day, but your sack for your nuts will increase.
But is it an invigorating nut? That's the thing.
It's a light nut. Just a light nut. These are Octopath jokes now for anyone who is tuning in.
Chicken.
You'd expect me to have been the one to have gone that route, but it was Sly, because that's him eating the chicken right there.
Yeah.
All right. Then they talked about the Feast Regional Championship again.
But we're short on time.
Okay, to be fair, the Regional Championship took like 3 minutes, so I could understand repeating, hey, just so everyone remembers, the preliminaries are going on right now. So just as a reminder, and these are our sponsors for, for the whatever, for the Japanese one. So it's whatever. Reminder. It didn't take 20 minutes like the companion app one did. And then about 30 minutes into the show, then they started talking about 4.4. We got to see that image. That is
quite an image.
That is quite an image.
When I saw this image, it's like, okay, you know everything else, but that right side of the image just looks so off.
Alphino's getting that bad touch right now. He's getting that bad touch from Shadowhunter over there.
Oh, God.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's why he looks so scared. That's why he's like, please, you don't know what's been happening over here. In this image, we have Solace, the dead emperor in the top left. We have his son Varus in the top middle. We have, and I'm going to put this in quotes, Xenos on the bottom left. We have Maxima in the very middle. We have Shadowhunter, as he is currently called, in quotes again, I suppose, on the right. And then we have Alphino getting the bad touch at the bottom right. Yeah.
Sorry.
So that's an intense image. And if that doesn't tell you what we're leading into in 5.0, I don't think anything else does. Sly's just... He's just speechless. He's like,
it looks like a horrible family photo.
And Alphino's the dog that doesn't want to be in the picture. He's like, I didn't sign up for this. I'm not related to any of you. I'm just here visiting. So I don't really want to be in the family picture, but I guess if you say so. But you know what's more exciting than the picture itself? The name of the patch. The name of the patch.
Prelude and Violet.
So when you see that name, Sly, what goes through your head?
After this patch, some real shit's about to happen.
Anything deeper than that?
Prelude. Still trying to think on the Violet.
Violet, there's a lot of symbolism around when it comes to the Garleans in particular. For example, I'm pretty sure that the majority of their part of the map is covered in lightning. Violet also happens to be the combination of the thematic colors for the previous 2 expansions, red and blue. Which makes sense considering it's between them.
Damn, you're taking this a little too deep than I really wanted to. I didn't even think about that. Okay, keep going.
I'm just saying, if you chat brought up, if you look back at the 4.0 trailer when it's going from the scene from Lise and the Warrior of Light fighting over to the over to Hingashi, it shows that area, it kind of encased in lightning and all that stuff. So it's deep, man. It's deep.
I kind of thought of the Void a little bit.
I've seen the Void pop up with a few people, mostly because we know that there's ASEAN involvement over there.
That's what led me to that.
Yeah. And then Prelude is, if that isn't just saying, hey man, there's an expansion coming, this is like, we're getting ready for it. Literally, I read Prelude and Violet, read between the lines, and it actually says, there's an expansion coming and we're going to Garlemald, you fucking idiots. That's what it translates to, roughly.
Yep.
So there's even more meanings behind this that we could go into, but like you said, it's intense. I like that, dude. I'm ready. I'm ready for a new expansion. I got another year already. I'm ready. I'm ready to go. You ready to go, Sly?
Yes.
Ready to expansion? Yeah.
Ready to new extreme meme.
Ready for
the
what's the next deep dungeon? Predict it now. The 4.35, 5.35 deep dungeon. There you go. Let's get ready for the expansion talk.
The Hell Below.
Well, we have Hell's Lid, so.
Yeah,
sure.
The Hell Below, Heaven on High, Hell.
Deep Sea. I like Deep Sea Research Facility. That's what I like. The Final Fantasy VIII Deep Sea Research Facility. I like that.
Oh, now you want to bring up Final Fantasy VIII? Really?
Listen, I just think it makes sense. All right. I'm just saying that's not a bad idea. Okay, I'm throwing that out there.
The minute I say Goetia, tell them I'm off and shit.
All right, say something Final Fantasy VIII related, and I won't fight back.
I've been said
no,
Final Fantasy VIII related.
Say something right now. That's fine.
Really? I like when haven't I said Ultimacia for fucking?
Okay,
like,
now say
Omega
something that actually is possible, and then.
Oh, okay. See, there we go. All right, I'm done. All right. Okay. All right.
I just want there to be some thought behind it. I'm just saying.
What's wrong with Ultimacia and fucking Omega?
Doesn't make any sense.
Everything else has.
At least she'd have to be a final boss. She's not going to be a final boss here.
Yeah.
That's it.
She'd be.
I'm just saying, if she's not a final boss, she's not going to be there, and she's not going to be the final boss, so give up.
No.
No. All right. Fine. I'll let you be for now, but it's just I already know.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. They confirmed mid-September would be the patch, which, as we said, probably the 11th, most likely. In the middle of Hell Month, as we've come to call it.
Oh.
Little bit less helly now that Code Vein's out of there.
Yeah. Agreed.
But it's still Spooderman, Spyro, 4.4, Dragon Quest 11. You had another one that I wasn't planning on playing in your post-it note.
No. Kiwami's August. Like.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the 28th. That's right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's almost September. You know.
Yeah.
It's like on the cusp of September. And then for 4.4, this is where like it felt like they just said, fuck it. You already know what it's going to be anyway. This is where it felt that way. Because they were like, new main scenario quest. New main scenario quest. New side story quest. The Four Lords. Even further Hildebrand adventures. New side quests. The Domin Reconstruction. And it was just like, okay. They just like rattled them off and just like, yeah. Here you go. Domin Reconstruction's the last part. Hildebrand's in 0.45. And then Four Lords we'll tell you about later. That was it.
Yeah. And then Dungeons.
Dungeons was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're.
I thought.
Yeah, no, I definitely thought these are two dungeons I look forward to, which rarely happens in patches with 2 dungeons. We have the Burn.
Tentative.
That's the name. I'm sure they're probably determining if they want to come up with a better name.
A better name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also St. Mosion's Arboretum hard mode.
Hard. This I didn't expect.
I don't think I ever expected us to go back to the Arboretum.
I feel like it's too soon. There are a lot of other dungeons. And we keep saying that every time they release new dungeons, but they keep going to more recent dungeons that we've done in the last expansion.
Yeah, I mean, I remember even in 3.x how shocking it was for Samal hard mode to pop up on the list of ones. Even though, I mean, even looking back at 2.x, though, we did have Wanderers and Amdapor both in 2.5. Yeah. So it's not really, I guess it's not as surprising, but I'm more shocked now when they announce which hard mode dungeon it is than I used to be. And I don't know if there's a particular reason why I feel that way. I guess it's just the dungeons they pick are not the dungeons I'm expecting them to pick. So it's always like, oh, I didn't see that one coming. The Arboretum, though, I've always wanted to explore more. I just never thought they would. I thought that was going to just be like, whatever. Bees. I just like yelling bees. Yeah, I'm going to be yelling bees the whole time. I just hope something interesting happens in there.
But we did get the screenshot of potentially the Burn.
Well, it's not the Arboretum, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
You mean the Burn, like, name-wise? Like,
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and all we see what looks to be like an energy pylon in the back. We see, a structure on the bottom left. We see a large serpent that has been, all life has been ruined. It's just decimated. And I have to assume that we're just here because we heard that Alphino's thing got shot down and we come to find. I have to imagine we'll find Alphino and what's his name here, but we know they're on their way to Garlemald, so it's tough tell.
Right.
I just I hope the story behind going there is a decent one, because the Burn is not. It's a place that has absolutely, I guess, nothing there anymore, but it has so much significance.
Isn't it devoid? Isn't devoid of Aether now?
It's completely devoid of Aether. Yeah. So basically, it's the location. It's basically the location that prompted Solace, the previous emperor, to begin his campaign. He saw, like, basically the primals sucked all the ether out of the land here, and this is all that's left. And so he wants to eradicate them. Like, it's one of the most important landmarks in Final Fantasy XIV history, and I hope that while we're there, we can kind of learn a little bit more about it, or the story around it, we can learn a little bit more about it. So it's too important to speed through it, and I hope that it gets its due diligence. I always hope dungeons get due diligence, though, because I otherwise don't care about them.
We never really care about them to begin with. You don't either, because you
know how many times I've done the Swallow's Compass? I care about that dungeon.
How many times have you done Swallow's Compass?
Like 40. In like a matter of like 4 days.
I thought you were about to say 4. I really thought you like 4.
Like, Swallow's Compass is a dungeon they made me want to do again, and they made me like it was that good of a dungeon. I want the Burn to be that dungeon.
Yeah,
personally. Now, how we're sure they really rushed through this live letter? You know how the Burn said it was tentative for the name? They didn't even bother. I've never seen them do this before, where they don't have a name for the area in which we're fighting the next trial.
No, this is Suzaku.
Yeah.
Have fun.
Suzaku and Suzaku. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's what it boils down to. But I thought it was funny that it's just like, yeah, no, Suzaku.
So going back, this shatters your prediction, or some people's prediction, for a double primal fight.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, I don't know where we go with Koryu. I'm getting concerned about Koryu now.
Why?
Well, I mean, now we have to consider there's Seiryu and Koryu left. Seiryu is the remaining of the 4 lords. Koryu is the ultimate goal. So this leaves us with a few possibilities. One, Seiryu is a trial. Koryu is another trial that comes later down the line. Okay. There's the possibility that Seiryu is in a dungeon or a solo instance, and Koryu is a trial. Then there's the opposite, where Seiryu is a trial and Koryu is a solo instance. Which, unfortunately, the more I think about the Koryu encounter, the more I'd believe it being a solo encounter. A solo trial where, like, you have Tataru, you have
Gimber.
You have, well, I was gonna say the Four Lords, but what's his face?
Soraban,
yeah. It sounds like something that they're gonna, if they were gonna include so many characters, it would make sense. It's just, I refuse to accept I refuse the possibility where we don't fight Koryu, only because as soon as we finish Byakko, even Tataru is like, we're definitely gonna have to fight. Like, she looks at you and says, we're definitely gonna have to fight him.
Yep.
As long as protecting Tataru is a mechanic in one of the fights, No,
fuck that. No. That little shit can eat a buffet of dicks. I don't care for her anymore. She has taught me the true nature of Lalafels. Fuck that shit.
I need an army of carbuncles to ignore her. Listen, she survived. That's all that matters, yeah?
She was trying to kill you.
No, she was trying to survive. She just was in our way. You know how, like, the I fight alone trope, where it's, you know, like, the fucking badass dude is just like, I fight alone and less baggage, and then somebody gets captured and he has to make the hard decision. He's like, oh, I'll stand down. Oh, tough guy brought to his knees by some puny what? That's this situation right here, okay? She's a duty finder pug, Sly. Leave her alone.
That's a good. Yeah, I'll take that one. Yeah.
All right, good. Hopefully the Suzaku fight does well. Tsukiyomi was really good. I think the bar is going to be pretty high for primal. I mean, as high as it gets for primals, I guess, in a sense. Obviously, they're not. They don't make them like they used to. That's all I'm saying.
No. I mean, Tsukiyomi was an interesting primal. The last interesting primal I think we had was honestly Shinryu.
I think he gets a little bit of a pass too, because he's that, like, super extreme. Like, he's that extreme primal that's always, like, a little bit harder than the rest, or is, like, designed to be a little bit harder, at least theoretically. Even though Shinryu himself didn't execute on that all too heavily.
No.
For me, it's since Sephiroth. Like, I've said it before. Sephiroth's the last, like, he's also not very well designed, but he's like, they don't make him like they used to. Actually, no, I'll give Sophia the credit. Sophia was the first forgivable one, but, like, pretty well put together as an encounter.
Yeah. And then you had Zervan, which was just...
There's also Nidhogg in there as well. Nidhogg was
a little bit more interesting than Zervan, honestly.
He was, but I could literally pour this Frank's Red Hot that I have over here on a white sheet of paper, crumple it up, throw it across the room, have my cat chase it, and that would be more interesting than Zervan.
That's very descriptive.
I just started putting random thoughts together. I was like, all right, Frank's Red Hot, piece of paper, my cat, and I just made a story out of it. So,
okay. That's a primal.
There you go. That's a primal. Well, Aloha. When he's hungry, he's a primal. Ain't that right, fatty?
Right.
Yeah.
Skip Aloha or disband.
I'd love to, but unfortunately, I'm the only one home for the next week, so there's no skipping Aloha for me. Then we got Omega. The name. That's it. Just the name.
The Alpha Scape.
We're going backwards, Sly. Going back to going to the Alpha. But Sly, if it's the Alpha Scape, it's both the end and the beginning.
And the beginning.
I'm just saying. symbolic. But we also know the name has nothing to do with what bosses appear there.
No.
I will say this, though. So back to things that can happen. So I will say this, though. Are we fighting Alpha? We're in the Alpha scape. Are we fighting Alpha? Is he going to be our last test?
Do you think they go that far? Honestly, like with no, I really don't think that they do.
I feel like my prediction's always been that Alpha is going to be Omega's perceived weakest possible state, and he's going to end up being like the thing that causes his demise in a sense.
So a sacrifice, so to speak. Do we sacrifice Alpha?
I think he dies by the end of all of this. I think he just dissipates because Omega's realm falls apart. So his like without Omega, I think Alpha can't exist. But there's also the possibility Alpha at this point has become, I guess, he's separated himself from Omega to the point where he can exist. Could be the possibility. It's just we know Alpha is supposed to be his perceived weakest form, like the weakest possible life form that Omega could create. And so I just want him to be the reason that Omega like dies, like stronger than Omega, the key to his defeat, whatever it is. I feel like we need duty action Alpha in the Omega fight. I'm just saying.
It'll be in one of the fights. Like there'll be a duty action in one fight.
There's always a duty action in one fight. Yeah, it's been the second fight both times. It's been the second fight both times so far.
Yeah.
So we just have to wait and see if it'll be the second fight again. So other than Ultimecia Slyh, so we know that the name and the number of the scape doesn't really determine the bosses because the previous two, Delta scape is not 5, Delta is 4, but we had XF, so and Sigma is not 6. So do you think there's any relevance to the beginning having anything to do with determining the bosses? Because a lot of people are debating that.
But who?
I mean,
Chaos?
Chaos is weird because Chaos is like he's a final boss, but he's like technically Garland becomes Chaos. But so the thing is, the really old school bosses in Final Fantasy, a lot of them have multiple forms, but they don't necessarily take place all in the same encounter. Garland, you don't fight Garland and then mid-encounter he transforms into this insane thing. You beat Garland early in the game, and when you meet him again, he becomes Chaos, like at the end of the game. With the Emperor, you beat the Emperor, kill him, and then you go through a whole dungeon to get to his ultimate form. Like, that's just how the other ones work. Cloud of Darkness is just one form, but you have to beat a bunch of enemies before her. Like, it wasn't until... I guess technically I was wondering if I should include Zemus and Zeramus because the way that encounter works is kind of weird. But I think really Exdeath is the first boss where it becomes this amalgamation of fucking nuttiness where like Zeramus and Zemus, like it is boss after boss, but with the way it plays out, I don't know if I really consider it the same way.
Now, and this is such an impossibility, but I'll throw it out. Do you think we get a boss rush? Like a final boss rush before Omega?
So that's the thing that's a possibility is here's the thing. I don't think Sephiroth's going to be a boss here. I do expect a lot of the end villains of the Final Fantasy franchises to appear though. So in what capacity, I don't know, but I do expect to see a lot of familiar faces, if not just appearing as mechanics. Like, I wouldn't be surprised to see Omega to, like, create a Sephiroth clone for one of his mechanics. But I don't know if that's the route they go. I don't know if they just show us, like, the other people who have been in the tournament.
Like, what, a Jenova mechanic?
I don't know. That's the thing. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities. With Omega...
We have a lot of possibilities. There's a lot we wish for. I want Sin. I want Ultimecia. I want fucking Sephiroth. Like, there's a lot we wish for. But there's a lot of reference material. That's the thing. There's a lot of reference material that has not been used. So it's open to interpretation.
That's the whole thing with Omega. You can never be 100% certain. Until you see a trailer, you see a preview, you actually cannot be certain of what it is you're going to see inside. So anything here is anecdotal or predictions that have no base, pretty much. No matter what, I feel like Omega's last boss. That's it.
Yeah, we can agree on that.
It's what we do with the other three. And I don't know. I can't in good faith. As soon as Kefka happened, I threw all predictions. I was like, fuck it. I don't know. They can do whatever they want. I'll have no idea what it is ever. That's it. I gave up. I gave up in that moment.
And then we hear the final boss theme from 10. And then we
So the thing about that, it's funny you say that because a lot of people because of the Final Fantasy VII stuff at the fan festival, that's what people are still using as their basis now. Because I don't know, apparently that has to mean something. But I still think that Midgar is just going to be in the expansion. I think that's the big reason for it. I think one of their major cities is going to be Midgar.
Okay,
but I don't know.
That's
it could just be because they want to fucking do it also. So who cares? It didn't mean anything when... Listen, we got the last fan fest was the Final Fantasy X shit. We still don't have Blitzball. Suck it.
People are still holding out hope, Happy. I'm just saying.
I'm just saying. I do agree with the chat that it's going to be Cloud Tifa Barret minion. I 100% agree with that. I think a Sephiroth minion is possible. I think it could be Cloud Aerith Sephiroth also. I think it'll be 3 Final Fantasy VII minions though. I feel confident. Yeah.
No, we're gonna sing minion.
No, we won't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sing.
Stop it. And anyway, Sly. Anyway, the next thing they said caught a lot of us off guard. So they confirmed they'll be doing some job adjustments. A lot of people are still looking at Dark Knight, still looking at Samurai, as well as other locations, but there will be job adjustments. But the role action slots thing was not an expected thing.
No.
Sly, tell me, what are your go-to 5 role actions? Give me all your Give me all your go-to ones, and then what you flex.
Go-to one. It's the version. Second Wind, Bloodbath. Version, Second Wind, Bloodbath. I know Arms is a flex. Arms is one I can switch out depending on if there is a knockback or not.
Technically, True North is a flex also, because there are some fights that there's no positionals. But
exactly. So that's a flex. But yeah, it's mainly a flex.
How do you feel about having access to all 10?
I'm going to ask the same question Pook asked me when we talked about this on Monday. Do I have enough button space to actually use all 10 of my fucking role actions?
You did in Heaven's Word.
You did in Heaven's Word, true. I mean, sure, okay, I can move something. I can make another fucking hot bar, and sure, why not? Sure. Yeah, we have the space. Sure. What's your issue with it? Because I can see you have an issue with it. What's your issue with it?
My issue is, okay, we're going to reduce button bloat in this expansion. By the way, here's all... Oops, sorry about that. By the way, here's all 10 of your role actions. So the reason why they're doing this is because they got a lot of feedback that there are too many role actions. No, not complaints. Feedback.
Complaints. Oh, shut the fuck up. Complaints.
That there are too many role actions that are considered mandatory, basically, where there's no flexibility whatsoever.
I mean, but then again, that complaint, and it is a complaint, is a fair assessment. I completely agree with that. Whenever you go into certain fights, well, like you said, there's shit you can flex and there's shit you absolutely cannot flex. You have to have it. But people's the definitions of flex and requirements are like so skewed. It differs from person to person or from group to group. So what was the solution to this? Hey, you can have it all.
Yeah, so now you just have 10. Just have access to all 10 of them all the time. I think for me, the bigger concern is, like, why even have role actions? Just fucking put them back on the jobs that you literally took Asuna.
This is going to get adjusted, and it's going to get adjusted in 5.0.
Yeah,
like it won't even be a thing in 5.0 anymore. Like we have the role actions in 4.0, 5.0. It's not even going to matter. Have fun.
Like, it's obvious it's going to get changed in 5.0. They've said it. We've said that they're going to do it. We said they're going to have to do it. It's just, it's like I've never seen a system abandoned like that directly.
That quick. That directly and that quickly.
Like, the last time something was abandoned that directly was when they said, yeah, we've got like 3 zones planned for Diadem. Oh, never mind. that was the last time I saw something abandoned that directly.
Wait. Does this mean that tanks are going to get that bloodbath? Does this mean that
no? So some people have been saying that. No, no. Some people have been saying maybe the reason why it's being up to 10 is because there'll be more of them. And I'm like, no, they just let you have all the fucking things. They ain't gonna give you shit back. Warriors, you still won't have bloodbath. Sorry.
I just want internal release back, man.
No, though. Someone's right. The fastest something's ever been abandoned was greed only. That's the fastest I think anything's been abandoned.
There you go. Yeah.
So yeah, that's it. So by the way, it means tanks, you'll all have provoke and ultimatum. So no more accidentally provoked, and then you don't have a fucking tank swap. By the way, healers, you'll always have protect. You'll always have Asuna. You'll always have lucid dreaming. You'll always have large ass. You'll always have rescue. Be gentle, fold. You'll always have cleric stance.
There you go. I gave up partying with certain healers because of fucking rescue, and they'll always have it.
Permanent troll button.
That is great.
Tanks, you'll always have awareness, provoke, ultimatum. You'll always have rampart. You'll always have your stun, your silences. No more, oops, forgot to set my silence as a rollout. Oops, forgot to set my... Nope. You'll always have it. That's it. You'll always have anticipation. You'll always have code.
Yeah, exactly. Notice we haven't said any DPS shit yet.
Because none of it matters.
Shit ourselves. Nothing matters for ourselves.
The thing I'm happy is no matter what, because like, for example, for ultimate, I'll run the self-sustain, like I'll run Bloodbath Second Wind just to be safe. Not mandatory, but I'll run them. I'll run True North, obviously. I have to run Faint. I forgot what the other thing. Oh, and no, actually, I don't think you have to run Arms. Like, there's another one I run there that I'm forgetting. Like a really common Diversion. That's the other one.
Diversion. Yeah.
I'll always have those 5, but I guess the thing is some fights, it's like
flex.
I used to flex some things. Now I don't give a shit.
Yeah, you don't have to.
No one gives a shit about Goad and Invigorate because no one runs out of TP anymore. Except when the tanks die and they go, "Does anyone have Goad?" I have to be like, I do. Oh man, you'll always have.
Sly, did you take Goad? Fuck, for what? For what? Okay. Or play a song.
Skill Speed Sams. There you go.
Yeah.
Skill Speed Sams will always have the goad. Oh man. Bard will always have head, arm, and leg graze. Weehee. Good times. Yeah, it's funny. I don't even know what they're gonna do next expansion, man. It's just the system just doesn't work.
Give us back our toys.
You're not. Warriors aren't getting Bloodbath. No. Sorry.
Everybody had toys that we loved in 3.0 that they got rid of for this system. Give us back our fucking toys. It's all one.
Mercy Stroke's not coming back. Bloodbath's not coming back. Scourge isn't coming back. None of it's coming back. Nothing's happening, man. It's all gone. It's all gone. Blood for Blood is a roll action? No, that's not. That's not gonna happen.
Yeah, well, Tara, we're never getting Keen Flurry back. Even if they give us toys, they're not gonna give us back that toy.
No Keen Flurry for you. Moving on, PvP. They're adding a timed attack quick chat option, which will actually do like a countdown for when you burst targets, which is pretty cool. I like that, but I still would rather have my words. So, whatever. PvP HUD layout in the Wolf's Den, so you can modify it without being in a match. Already talking about the third installment of Eureka. I think this was the point where them talking about it or even bringing it up, and the second part still isn't out yet. It was kind of weird.
Yeah. But you just mentioned Pagos like a couple of minutes ago.
To add even more confusion to that, we had Onimos, Pagos, then we have the unnamed region, which has the Logos system.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm reading when it comes to the Logos system.
Oh, I'm glad we're on the same page here. Okay. I thought I was alone on this one. I'm glad we're on the same page. Go ahead. What's happy? First of all, what is the Logos system?
I don't fucking know.
Interpretation? Okay.
I don't fucking know.
All right.
I'm waiting for the official translation for this, for the Logos comments, because the unofficial translation reads, and I follow, by doing certain actions, you will trigger the Logos system. Logos is not the name of Eureka. It's just the new system is called Logos. The Logos system is different depending on which role you're in. For example, there will be actions that can allow, for example, a DPS to build threat and be a tank. Did I accidentally turn my headset off? Because I don't hear you.
No, I'm just saying why.
I'm just what? So when they first said it, I was like, okay, Eureka's a love letter to Final Fantasy XI. Is it skill chains? Then they said certain actions will trigger it, and I was like, it could be procs where like magic attacks make it drop one item, and tank attacks make it drop another item, and DPS attacks make like that exists in 11. So I figured maybe it was like that. Then they said this DPS to build threat and be a tank shit is where I lost. I was like, but why would I ever want to do that?
Thank you. Now, when they describe the system, and I hate to bring it to SMT, but this is the only allegory I have. It reminds me of the Smirk system in 4 Apocalypse, where they took abilities that you already had in 4, and basically you had to smirk. You had to have a smirk to bring out the other side of the ability. So Salvation was a full heal / removed every debuff. No, you have the smirk to do that. You had to do something special to do that. So that's what it reminded me of. And it on paper, it just doesn't sound.
But why? This example, what situation is there that I want to do that? Is it, if there's no tanks around, I can take over?
We're already going to be the fucking tank anyway.
Sly, I was more thinking I'm just
saying. Go ahead.
I was more thinking it's like, so I look at Onimos, for example, and when people go to do that, being a tank is, it's nice, it's whatever, if there's no tanks around, it's not great to not have a tank around. So I'm just wondering if it's there as a system to make it so that if a role isn't around, you have a means of providing support that your role would otherwise not be capable of to make up for the lack of another role. Like, for example,
that party finder, bring the right person. Done.
All right.
Next question.
I'm gonna just continue my point on that slide. For me, it feels like a direct counter to everyone wants a red mage in Eureka kind of thing, where if you have DPS that can, by doing certain skills in a row, they trigger an AoE heal, or they trigger a resurrection for people in range and stuff like that, as opposed to being on red mage. That to me starts to be like what it sounds like it's aimed to do. That's it.
Okay.
So when things aren't around, or you don't have to bring certain things only.
Okay. All right. To your point. There's Party Finder.
It's like, who uses the Party Finder for fucking Eureka?
I mean, have to, recruit people across the data center who wants to join me. Yeah, I do. But
yeah, but I don't set roles. I'm just like, fuck it. I don't care. Just resurrect everyone. One healer, and then maybe I don't give a shit. Or never mind. We're 8 red mages anyway. Fuck it. Get in here. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I think that might be the goal of it. Because I ain't trusting the Party Finder. No.
Make it a private Party Finder. Done.
Yeah, you and I do that. That's for friends and stream people.
Yeah.
Sly, we can't apply that to normal people. They're not making it for us. Like, you can't. We have the advantage of having a fucking horde of people to choose between. And other people are like, does anyone want to play with me? And I'm just like, yeah, I'll play with you. Come join. But if they're just standing there with their hand up on their own, people are just going to be like, fuck is that guy? And I'm just
sorry, to everybody watching and listening, that sounded so fucking horrible. We can't apply that to normal people. The fuck?
It's all about the pool of people you have available to actually play with you. We set up a private... What, Sly? The whole point is you said set up a private Party Finder, and I said, how the fuck is that useful for people who aren't like streamers or playing with friends already?
Normal people. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go on.
It's 2 very different demographics we're referring to here.
Oh, shit. Okay. All right.
I've made my point, Sly.
I know.
And being normal is fun sometimes.
Fucking normies.
Oh shit, I see the taco guys getting set. I might want that. Anyway. I looked out my window, I saw a dude setting up a taco tent. I was like, I want tacos out of the taco tent. Alright. Anyway. The next thing on the list is new dungeons being added to the Lost Canals of Uznair. Hey, don't you fucking give me your fake excitement bullshit.
No. That was actual excitement.
I don't believe you.
I am hyped for this. I need to do more Lost Canals of Uznair. I need to do more maps. Come to that conclusion. So,
I have 150 mil, so I don't really need to do more maps, but I would like to do the new ones. So, but here's the thing. It's when you enter the Lost Canals, it's still the same entrance, but basically in that first room, you can go down one path, or you can choose to go down a different path. I'm just hoping the reward... I'm assuming it's just going to be similar between the two. It's just maybe a slightly different aesthetic, maybe different enemies. But I hope that the reward structure... I hope it's a good idea for reward structure, because right now when everyone goes down the same path, all the rewards are kind of funneled into the same people. I wonder if having people having a choice between paths, like, lowers supply of one path, while or tries to balance the supply of the paths to increase demand, to increase actual guild flow. I hope that's that's the aim, and that it's successful in that regard. What do you think?
I just need more money.
There's 3 constants in the planet. Sky's blue, grass is green, and Sly's out of gill.
Fuck you, Dojo. He's not wrong. I'm not dead ass broke, but yes. You're kind of right. Fuck you, Dojo.
Nice.
Yeah.
It's all right, Sly. If just come to Gilgamesh real quick. I'll throw you a few $100K. Right.
No, I'll just do more maps. And this is gonna get me to do more maps.
If you say so. Yeah, like you're gonna do more maps in September of all months.
Yeah, you're right. I'm not. I'll try.
There you go. Yeah. He's not gonna do it. Anyway, he's gonna keep being poor.
Thanks. Love that faith.
I'm sorry, I wasn't talking to you. I was talking.
No,
I was whispering.
I love that faith. Yeah, I know.
I just like to do this because then it maybe motivates you to prove me wrong.
50-50.
Yeah, crafting it worked.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it did.
Anyway, other updates, new recipes for crafting and gathering, new fishing holes in the Domin Enclave. Zoe is going to get an update to her stuff. And then on top of that, we have new Grand Company updates, more squadron missions with the captain update for the captain rank. Housing updates. We're getting mannequins finally, which can be tied to the market board. So you can sell items on the market board with the mannequin as a set, which is going to be interesting. I guess you can browse people's mannequins in the market board or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the things they rush through, so we're rushing through them too.
No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like you're going about the same speed as they're going in the live letters.
So I figured okay. New customization features. They're adding the role-playing status for your house. It'll enhance the roleplay feature, allowed maybe make retainers serve people food and whatnot, like it's a cafe or something. Gold saucer. I was so excited when I saw the gold saucer update.
A lot of people were.
So Godbert has decided that inside the gold saucer they have enough attractions, but the gold saucer they can purchase land and make attractions elsewhere. So they decided to purchase an area out in Thanalin, I believe, and it's jumping puzzles from popular Final Fantasy XIV landmarks or Vanadil. Sorry, I've been playing 11 lately. Eorzea landmarks. Well, maybe they can rent out space in Vanadil. Do a jump puzzle there. Really shit on the fact that you can't jump in 11. I mean, you can. It's an emote, but all the same. There you go.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine sticking a Final Fantasy 11 location in 14 just for jump puzzles of all things.
And you can't jump in it.
You can't jump in 11. So it's like, wow, thanks, man. That's so good. Yeah, I can't wait for this. I just want to know, like, how does this really factor in to, like, the gold saucer? Like, does it cost MGP to play? How much MGP does it reward? What's the time limit on it? How am I supposed to deal with 119 other people according to this translation? This will allow up to 120 players at once.
So, Haps, it's safe to say that you will be doing this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Good. Nice.
Yeah.
Awesome.
It'll be safe to say you're doing it too, right? That's a very subtle way of saying yes.
Okay. Sure.
You're going to be world first. You're going to log in 4.4 day, and that is going to be what you do. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Omega's for pussies. This is where it's at. The good news is if you go there right away, there probably won't be that many people trying to do it at the exact same time.
Yay.
It's better than doing it with 120 people at the same time.
I mean, like, you give this to me like a consolation, like, hey, there might not be this many people when you start out, so, you know, you might want to go, like, I'm actually going to do it.
Yeah, you will. You said yes.
Okay, yeah.
You even gave us a thumbs up. Like, I could just take that whole thing. Yeah, exactly, like that. That's proof. So you guys can hold that to him. That's proof that he said he was going to do it. Thank you, Sly. Thank you for committing.
You're welcome.
All right, awesome. Ceremonial, the bonding ceremony is getting some updates, some new ceremonies, plus the ability to do anniversaries. So if you liked how much money you spent on the first one, you can now go and spend money on it again. Or do the free one, but the free one sucks. So
pay good money for the good.
They were just like, you know what they were? They were probably sitting at like a board meeting or something. They were just like, you know, some guy was probably just like listening and talking about something else. He's like, you know what? How come we don't do anniversaries for ceremonial? We've got multiple ceremonies.
I mean, honestly, it's a thought about it. Like, I haven't really thought about it since done my ceremony, but yeah, when you really bring it back up, yeah, it's a random thought that probably has occurred to some members of the community. Yeah, why don't we have anniversary ceremonies?
Well, because I guess the thing is, you pick the ceremony that works best for you, but you can't really, you yourself don't get to see the other ceremonies unless you go to somebody else's wedding. So I have to imagine that the main reason here is because they realize if they have a bunch of ceremonies, people will feel inclined to. I mean, obviously, I guess the question is, can you do? Because there is a free version of the bonding ceremony. I have a feeling that's not going to be where the new ceremonies are.
No.
So, I mean, you could technically do the free one again, but I don't think there would be much of a point to doing it. It just seems like they went like we made this, we put all this effort into it, and people on average do it once. Let's change that.
Yeah.
I mean, it works with Fantasias. Changing the appearance is a very, very popular thing.
Still have not used not one damn Fantasia.
Why not, Sly? Just make another character and just use a bunch of them so you can say you used one.
I like the way I look. I guarantee it.
Okay, but that's not what I just suggested.
Okay. I mean, yeah, that's for another character. In terms of, me, no.
My cat is grooming himself and he's licking my foot by proximity. It's like sandpaper. I just wanted to share that with everyone.
Thanks.
Because he's just going nuts down there.
Enjoy the petting.
He was sleeping on my PS4. He seems to be done now, though. Oh, there he goes. You moving? Nope. Yep. All right. All right. Moving on. Group post is getting updated.
Okay.
Hey, apparently a lot of people were really excited about the ability to lock weather as a setting. Dude, I've seen some great G-pose pictures.
Okay.
Sly's like, all right, that's it. Move to the next thing.
No. Go at live letter speed. I expect this, please.
New Allegan Tomestone's Crystal Tower is having the fate requirement removed or adjusted or revised, I guess is the word. Duty recorder, they're going to increase the number of recordable duties and they're going to revise the features. So they're going to take something that nobody really likes and make it something that a few people like. So
it's an improvement.
Yeah. At least the good news, as chat's pointing out, it says increased, not changed, which is what it was before. They would change the duty. Ugh.
Right.
The Unending Journey is having its features expanded.
Woo!
You'll be able to select dialogue choices in the cutscenes.
Nice.
Still no playlist. Still no playlist. I'm just saying it'd be really convenient to have a playlist. Just saying.
One day.
One day. It's not today, though. Same day you get your tackle box. Anyway. Listen. Your tackle box, my playlist, and Warriors getting Bloodbath again are like on the same list. All right?
Yeah.
The not happening, but maybe one day list.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, you're going to be able to save, and they didn't talk about PS4 at all, so I don't know how much this matters to PS4 players, but you're going to be able to manually save your configuration data onto the server now. So, like, if you're someone who goes to cyber cafes or you go to conventions and you want to play it, just in a location that's not home, you won't have to bring a USB or, like, upload it to Dropbox or something like that in order to keep all of your information.
Do you think they do this for FanFest?
I don't know.
Because that's the first thing that came to mind for me for this.
No, because like, the FanFest, they always have characters. They just log us in to like event characters.
True.
Although somebody's saying here for the PvP tournament, so everyone has the settings exactly as they want it instead of having to set it up on the fly.
Mm-hmm.
That would make sense. I think that makes a lot of sense.
That actually. And whatever challenge they have. I mean, but even still. Like you said, the challenges are, the event characters.
Those are always going to be the event characters.
Yeah, it would be good for us to do. What would be really good? And I just thought about this. Like,
what?
Doing the event, getting an achievement / something from the event as your character.
That'd be cool. It'd be a logistic nightmare for them, but it would be cool.
Yeah, it would. But yeah, it would like make wanting to be there more, more attractive.
It would also mean the devs would have to develop something in game though, and that's always a tough sell. So it's for anyone who's not following. What Sly's saying is basically if you were able to log into your own character at like a fan fest, for example, and participate in like the 4-man, a dungeon challenge or a primal or a 24-man, whatever they do, that it would like drop a token, then you could just redeem it in game for like an item that says, "Hey, I was at FanFest" or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's better than what they did. Like last time, there were no shirts. I don't think for any of the events. There was just the Feast tournament, and that was the only thing they did. There was no Ultima shirt. There was no Extreme Primal. There was nothing. So
I mean, but really, do you really want a shirt saying "I beat Proto Ultima"?
Dude, a shirt. No, I want a shirt that says "I beat Ultima Ultimate."
Eventually, a few months, you would do it. Eventually, a few months after that.
Listen.
Like less.
Can they just have my shirt printed out that says "I beat Ultima Ultima"? Can they just have that printed out for when I get there?
Merchandise rewards for. I'll take that.
They would never fucking do that. That would
They would never do that. No.
A logistic nightmare. Oh,
it would make it more appealing. It would definitely make it more appealing.
Yeah, no shit, but it would never work. Somebody could just make. Listen, if I bought somebody's Raubon, I beat Raubon shirt, then somebody can make a fucking Ultima shirt if they really want to. It's just a giant. It's just a giant face that looks like this.
You hear that, community? Perhaps one of I beat Ultima shirt.
No, it could just be uwu the shirt, just like the uwu face on a shirt. Yoshida making an uwu face on a shirt.
I still want the Hap Raptor shirt. That's the one I've been asking for. Yeah, that one. Yeah.
Gotta make the face. That's the uwu face.
You're my bitch now. You're my bitch now.
There you go. Oh man. And then that was it, by the way, for the 4.4 stuff. It just ended right there.
Okay. All right.
I will say this, though. Hezkezel was taking... They had a video of them at E3, and Hezkezel took some pretty good images out of that. This one was one of my favorites. I feel like this is how Soken would say, "You're my bitch now," if anyone, had anything else to say. I feel like that's his version. That
is like one of the best pictures of Soken I've ever seen.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a freeze frame of him that Hez grabbed. He's like, "Buy my album, no YouTube." There you go. That's what he's saying right there.
Yeah.
And then we had one of Yoshida that I also liked. This one I could just imagine so many like just put text at the top, text at the bottom kind of thing. Like where he's just laughing at someone for like a suggestion. It's just yeah, I like that. I like those two images. Like those two pictures. So I just wanted to share those real quick with everybody. And then the Monster Hunter event. Spoke about it for like an hour.
They're good. They're good shit. All right, let's get into this.
All right, before we do anything, we should probably like show a trailer or something.
Yeah, that seems good.
Seems like a good idea. All right, let me fix up the scaling for it real quick. Because I'm using the same frame. All right, so we're just gonna watch the trailer real quick for the Final Fantasy XIV Monster Hunter World collaboration, guys. So Sly, shut up, and I'm gonna shut up. All right, so we're shutting up now. Shut up. I'm shut up. All right. That's the trailer right there. The fuck was that? That sound. That fucking sound, dude. What the fuck was that? Oh man.
My god. Oh my god.
It was good.
I get excited every time. Yeah.
It was good.
Yeah.
It was a good trailer.
Yeah.
So that's going to be happening the same day Pagos happens, that fight. Priorities?
Yeah, that's getting done. That's getting done first.
Yeah, Rathlow's getting done first for me, too. Rathlow's King of the Skies on August 7th. The hunt begins 2 days before the PC launch of Monster Hunter and 5 days after the Behemoth has been made available in the console version of Monster Hunter. And I have to say the console version because of what's been said about the PC version for the time being. For those who don't know, unrelated technically, but the PC version will be starting as vanilla Monster Hunter, like when it first launched on PS4 and Xbox, and is
have fun with that, PC people.
And it's gonna update at a faster pace, but it's gonna be the vanilla version.
So it's eventually gonna catch up.
It will catch up. It will catch up eventually. It has a separate event schedule, but it's just, not a. It doesn't make me want to buy it on August 9th. That's all I'm saying. Just not super excited for that. And then on top of that, so obviously we're fighting Rathlaw, so that's not news, right?
No.
Yeah, we'll just do an 8-man trial like they said, and then that's it, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is there nothing? Is there nothing else, Sly, other than that just 8-man trial right there?
Oh no! It gets special. It gets real special, real fucking quick, because there is an extreme mode which we were hoping and praying for. Now, Habs, I really want to hear your opinion because I saw your face when you talked about it in your video. So, the extreme mode of Rathalos will be 1 to 4 people.
Yes.
How it's supposed to be. Because Monster Hunter, you have a party of 4. How do you feel about that, Habs?
I like it. The more loyal they can be to Monster Hunter here, the more memorable this. If I can rememberable how to English. The more memorable the event itself is going to be, and the more it's going to stand out. A lot of the times we've spoken about collaboration events as half-assed, half-hearted, uninteresting. Yeah. Everyone. That's why everyone leading up to this, even though they said certain things about implying it could be a trial, everyone just kept saying, "Oh, it's just going to be fates. It's just going to be this, going to be some bullshit, whatever." So. Getting themselves away from that stigma is so important, and if being more loyal to the Monster Hunter franchise is how they do it, I think people would look forward to collaborations more so in the future.
Now, even going beyond that, going from what we saw in the trailer, and going from our knowledge of what we have in the world, from our encounters of Rathalos, it looks pretty fucking on point. Like, I was highly impressed with the movements and the actions of Rathalos. It looks damn near to a T of what you would expect from a Rathalos hunt in world. So I was really impressed on that.
Yeah, I was impressed with everything I saw. I don't think I could stop and label one specific thing as wow, that really stood out to me, because they just described it. It just felt like on both sides there's so much loyalty being had.
Yep.
To the events. For those who don't know, Behemoth has an enmity table in Monster Hunter World. By attacking the head, you generate bonus enmity, so you can legitimately tank him.
Now, I might be getting ahead of myself. Here's where, kind of this disparity happens. We only get Rathalos. Now, while Monster Hunter does get Behemoth, we get a interaction in Monster Hunter with a Kuliaku who is holding onto the crystal.
The mother crystal.
It is a large Kuliaku. So yeah, basically Kuliaku gets a buff. Gets buffed from holding on to the mother crystal.
Yep.
So we could have got something else. A little something.
Yeah, I guess we need to see both events side by side. In terms of the actual encounter, though, I think they kind of know that like a Kuliyaku is like, come on.
It's a meme. It's a meme monster. I know. We take it out in like less than 20 seconds when we get.
Exactly. And then the Cactuar, we don't really know the extent to how that little side mission is going to work in Monster Hunter. But with this, I think I was hesitant to say this at first when I saw the Behemoth in Monster Hunter. At least at the current moment, I feel that the 14 event actually got the better end of the bargain between the two games.
How so? I need to hear how so.
So there was gameplay of the Behemoth encounter on Sunday, the day before the live letter. They did a live preview of it with Yoshida-san. And I guess when you start applying Trinity mechanics to a game that has no Trinity, it just kind of... It just doesn't...
But there's a lot in terms of the realm of possibility, because both, again, the thing about both of these events, they're permanent in like both of their respective games. This is always going to be a thing in 14. Behemoth will always be a thing in Monster Hunter. It's static.
Yeah.
So this brings the possibility of having a tempered, to even go even further, art tempered Behemoth.
It's funny you mentioned that, because the devs did say, Yoshida had to explain to them the difference between normal and extreme, because we have multiple difficulties. Obviously, Capcom's no stranger to that, but it's a terminology. They did say they'd like to make a harder Behemoth, a Behemoth Extreme, sometime later down the line. They've already expressed interest in that. Yoshida was like, make it any more difficult than that, you'll have to make it Ultimate.
No, Ultimate is arc tempered. We've learned that the hard way through Valhazak. Like, we've learned that.
So there you go. That's the hard way. That'll be that'll be Ultimate Behemoth over in Monster Hunter.
There you go.
But I don't know. It's also just, I look at the rewards in Monster Hunter. I see there's the crystal adornment for your little housing area. There's the Poogie, which I think is actually the best thing in Monster Hunter World. Is
the baby Behemoth.
The baby Behemoth Poogie. Yes. And then you have the Dragoon armor set, and you have the Gaybolg as an insect glaive. And I look at that and I was like, I don't play insect glaive, Dragoon armor's great, so I don't really care. I don't really care what weapon I'm using. The Dragoon armor looks cool. I'm assuming it's just one of those, it's like the other glam sets anyway.
Dragoon armor as a great sword user, that is going to be the most awkward shit ever.
I'm a hammer user, dude. At least I'm going to jump and spin the whole time. I'm going to be in the Dragoon armor doing the fucking hammer spin the whole time.
Yeah, you're at least going to be doing something jumping. I'm just going to be doing plunge attacks. That's the main thing for me.
Yeah. Also, the Moogle skin for the Palico is another thing. That's like, it's all there and it's all good, but I don't know. I saw the encounter and it didn't measure up. It's got like one or two interesting things. And when they talk about like the challenges of making it, they said the behemoths, I guess the way a behemoth moves isn't necessarily the like natural, like they want it to be. So they had to make some adjustments to it. And I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure. It's gonna fall over. So like they beat it in like 4 or 5 minutes, and they were even like taking a little bit easy on him and missing a few really big attacks right there. And I was just like,
this is where the harder difficulty is gonna come in. And
yeah,
I don't know when that's gonna be available. Hopefully, it's available from the start. You get investigations for a tempered behemoth. Hopefully,
doubt it.
I hope and pray because
they said it's gonna have its own.
If we get extreme, they have to give it a temper. That's my only thing. Not art temper, just fucking temper.
I would have liked a higher difficulty behemoth. I think that's the thing that may be missing for me for the Monster Hunter World event is HR16 means you've beaten the game technically, so it's about a 30-hour window before you can technically fight the behemoth, and it's just, I don't know. They did a good job. The Monster Hunter guys did a good job on their side, but when I saw both the events side by side, the 14 event felt like it had more teeth to it, I suppose.
Yeah. But you say that.
For now.
But it was missing some. For now. Yeah, and I'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
It was missing, one thing in particular, and we talked about this. And the reason for this, the reason that it's missing, kind of a little bit of BS, in my opinion.
I agree
and
with this.
like we talked about this in my stream today. So what Yoshi P wanted to include with the Rathalos fight, which we talked about, was part breaks. Like it was a necessary step, and he knew that. He just could not include it into the fight because in order for him to include part breaks, he would have to change the rating because of gore.
Man, are you just saying that Round One, your shit wasn't that bad, I guess, because
now and we did talk about this today. Hear me out for Raubon. The thing about Raubon was yes, Raubon got his arm cut off. But at the scene in this,
you don't actually see the dissever. You don't actually see it.
Yeah, that's the thing. You don't see it. They cut away from it to kind of keep their rating. So in 5.0, do we move away from the teen rating?
No, they can't. They never do it. They'd straight up never do it.
Okay. All right. Fair point.
Bottom line. Never happened. It's just, I feel like the way that the chops happen is so not reminiscent of the way it would act. Like, it's not like Texas Chainsaw Massacre where you're fucking taking your thing, like taking your sword or whatever your weapon is through its tail and you're like carving the piece off and you're like, ugh, ugh. Like we're fucking jumping on the thing and stabbing it in the fucking head, and that's like, I don't know. It's weird to me.
Okay, devil's advocate, go over to the Monster Hunter World side. Every time you've removed a part from a monster, like we've done enough damage to it to where we chop up tails, things like that. While it's not that gory in my opinion, there's still, there's still a little bit of blood and all that, and
I just think whichever rating company it was that gave them the problem, fuck you.
It's Zero. It's Zero.
It's just like, come on, like come the fuck on. That gets it in, because it's not the dev's fault. It's the fucking, it's the ratings. I just, it's bullshit, man. I'm saying it's fucking bullshit. Just, that's it. You suck. You suck. You ruined something that could have been much better. Still great, but could have been much better. So I'll say it. Fuck whoever said, no, that's going to have to be M for that. Suck my dick. Anyway, now that I'm done being salty over that. Now that I'm done being salty over that.
So, yeah, we discussed how normal is 8-man and extreme is 4-man.
Yeah.
The rewards.
We skipped a whole hell of a lot. You're trying to skip ahead. We didn't discuss how much it is an homage to Monster Hunter. Everything.
Okay, you want to get that deep? Okay.
Yeah, dude, that's important. Like it being 4-man isn't the most important thing. It's that it's a 4-man where it's an 8 and a 4-man. Rathalos ignores threat. Everyone's a tank. You're gonna have a healing debuff. Yeah, well, everyone's should not be a tank. Don't get hit.
Really? With Rathalos? Really?
Don't get hit.
Really?
That's it.
Have you played Monster Hunter?
Yeah, I'm HR 99. Just don't get hit. I'm not playing this. I'm playing Final Fantasy 14 though, so just don't get hit. Don't be a bitch.
Don't get hit.
All right. You're gonna have to heal using potions with up to 10 maximum. You get a debuff that prevents healing from other magic. You can mount the boss as we don't actually know how the mounting itself is actually going to work. I'm assuming it's going to be like when you jump up on the back of like a Cruise Chaser or something like that. Like there's going to be like an interactable to get on his back or something like that.
What I'm thinking is you do enough damage to down it, and then somebody does an action to where they can get on. Like it's only like in the trailer it was only one person, so only one person will do the actual. And this is going to be such a clusterfuck in the first day. Everybody wants to fucking get on. Like, I want to do it. I want to fucking mount him. And like, yeah, that's the thing. So you do enough damage, down him, and then one person lucky enough to, actually hit the button at the right time, gets on him and does the mount. And then you down him again. You do even more damage. So that's what I'm.
There's another thing. You have auto raise in extreme mode, but if you die 3 times, that's it. You get 3 carts and then you're out.
3 carts.
It's not even 3 auto raises. It's at if 3 deaths occur, like same person dies 3 times. That's it. So
yeah, it's just like Monster Hunter. The same person fucks up, you're done.
That's it.
Same person fucks up twice, and then you get 1 more random death, you're done. Either way, 3 deaths, you're done.
That's it. Failed.
That's it. Failed. Quest failed. I wonder if we get the quest failed from Monster Hunter for that. Instead of duty failed, we get quest failed.
I feel like they would have shown us if they did.
No, I kind of feel like that's a surprise they would let happen.
Sorry, I haven't slept much the past few days. It's an Octopath life, dude. Octopath is. I'm not even getting Octo sleep. Yeah. So one of the things is the minimum item level is 320 for the normal mode, and then 350.
350.
So lowish item levels. The 320 is definitely there. I mean, it makes sense to keep the item level required low because the players who are going to be coming in to do this, they're probably expecting some new players to come in from Monster Hunter to try it out, and they need to make sure it's like a relatively low item level for those newer players to attempt for the collaboration. And then the extreme is 350, which is it's higher. Actually it is a pretty high item level to be considered. That's the same item level as 07 and 08 Savage.
Right.
So I don't know if that's representative of how difficult they expect Rathalos to actually be. Or if it's just, I guess it's more of a for the longevity thing.
Yeah.
But for a minimum item level, or for the average item level to enter, 350 is on the higher end. There's not many things in the game that require item level 350 in order to enter. So I'm looking forward to it. 350 is Tsukiyomi. 350 Tsukiyomi 07 and 08. So recommended item level. Yeah. So yeah, either way, it's pretty high. So I'm hoping it is representative of, I guess, what his average difficulty is for at least 4 players. New players finishing Stormblood requirement. Yeah.
Now, again, I've asked this before. Like, seeing the trailer now, do you think we as Monster Hunter players have a edge up on this, or is it just going to be completely foreign territory?
Listen, man, all I'm going to say is if fucking someone couldn't dodge AoEs in a normal fight in 14, this just isn't going to go any better for them. That's it. That's all I'm saying, man. There's no advantage.
We know the thing is, we know the tells. We know what he's about to do. We know for Rathalos, what was it? It was the swipe, and then he goes up to do the fire. Like that, like we know that tell. Like if you played Monster Hunter World, you've done enough Rathalos, you know that tell. You know everything he's about to do almost.
Yeah.
So you think it has no advantage in 14?
Just different movement engines. Because you know how to dodge it in Monster Hunter, but that doesn't. It's a different beast, because that's a very different combat system, different movement engine. So it's right. I don't think it translates to much at all. Personally, yeah, just get out of the AoE, son. That's it.
Yeah. You don't get a temporal mantle in this. Sorry, you get no cheese.
You get potions.
You get potions. Yes,
it could be cheesy potions.
The roll action. No, that's not cheese.
Just don't get hit.
Temporal mantle. Yeah, temporal mantle in Monster Hunter World. If you're current and you know what that is, you know that's fucking cheese. Like that's a free dodge. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to dodge. You just have to be there. Have that temporal mantle on, and it's a free dodge. We probably won't get that. Like if that was an action, that would be so fucking broken. But oh my god. But after that, at all that said and done, They mentioned that there were a lot of Kieran gear requests. First of all, fuck you, everybody who asked that.
What? I love Kieran.
No, fuck you. No. Me having to deal with Arc Tempered Kieran and then HR 49 Kieran. Fuck you all. First of all, I don't want. But even to that request, Yoshi P replied, maybe next time. Now. So they're saying he's like, in my opinion, he's saying that we will get stuff added to this.
He's not saying we will. He's just doing that thing that they always do where they don't want to say they'll never do anything else with Monster Hunter, but they're not going to say they are going to do. So he just says, oh, maybe next time. You know, he does it with everything. Like Eggy Glamours. Next time there'll be more options.
Okay, devil's advocate. Let's say there is actually a next time sooner than expected. What would you hope for in that next time?
Kieran.
Fuck you.
No, Pickle. Pickle would be the answer.
That's actually pretty good. I went Nergy. I went Nergigante.
Nergy would be a good one too.
Yeah, Nergy would definitely be a good one. Like he's huge. Like now
B52.
B52. Fuck all of you. You are evil for being requesting B52. Holy shit. Nergy, but a Nergy in addition to a Zora Magdaros.
No, it sucks enough in Monster Hunter. I don't need it to suck as much in this game. No. I would have accepted Cult. No, because Stone Vigil hard mode was so fun. The second fucking boss, right? Zora Magdaros sucks enough in his own game. We don't need him here.
Do we get a Dragonator? That's the question. Do we get a Dragonator if
giant fucking dragon dildo? I call it the dragon dildo.
The dragon dildo.
Just shove it up his ass. Although in the fight, no, you shove it up the ass in the arena, but not in the actual encounter. Yeah. Do you want Steps of Faith? Because that's how we get Steps of Faith. Steps of Faith is Zora Magdaros, okay?
It's a better Steps of Faith.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Yeah. Yes.
At least,
yes, it is.
At least in fucking Steps of Faith, I can prevent the use of those things by fucking attacking the boss. This thing you have to get on his head. Nobody ever does the thing where you actually go and get on his fucking head.
Never mind. I'll just anger you even more. Okay, never mind. All right.
Zora Magdaros.
All right, so we know
fight sucks. Yeah. Keep it out. I'll accept Cold, but not Zora Magdaros.
So Happy wants Devil Joe. I want Nergigante and partially Zora Magdaros. Hell, fuck. I'll give you Xeno'jiiva.
Here, I'll give you Xeno'jiiva. This is the next monster that I want right here. This is the next monster that I want.
Palico?
Yeah, Palico. This is my Palico. We're getting a Palico, so why do you fight me, Aloha? Why do you fight me? All right, fine.
Let me go.
Relax. Let me put you down, Aloha. No, stay away from my food. No, I'm spinning you.
Let me go, human.
I'm spinning you. No, I know what you want to do. Don't do it. Don't, Aloha. No. Here, I'll pet you. No.
Remember to take care of your Palicos, everyone.
Yeah, everyone remember to take care of your Palicos. Aloha, no, stop trying to get to my leftover food. It's not even food. It's just scraps on the plate, and you're just smelling them. So anyway, back to the event. What was the next thing you wanted to talk about? No, Aloha, what are you doing? What was the next thing you wanted to talk about?
Well, basically, they after all the details, they kind of went into kind of Q&A-ish type information about the collaboration. I'm sorry, this is too.
Aloha, come here. Look, it's down here. Don't you want it? I'm sorry for inviting you into this. Aloha, I'm sorry. All right, it's going over there. Aloha. Okay. So anyway, No, what about the rewards, Sly?
Oh yeah, we didn't mention the rewards. Sorry. The rewards are no weapons. We don't get weapons.
That was disappointing. I was pretty disappointed by that.
Why were you disappointed with that? Because I kind of figured we were going to get gear. And
I figured we would get weapons.
What hurts me the most is that I know what the Rathalos gear looks like in Monster Hunter. And like, it doesn't feel Rathalos-like in 14.
So they said
I wanted
that it was
Rathalos armor in 14.
They said it was. It's weird because in the Monster Hunter side, they literally took a piece of armor from Final Fantasy 14. In the Final Fantasy 14 side, they wanted to make it look like it would make sense in 14. So they said what Final Fantasy 14 crafters would make if they took pieces of Rathalos and made their own gear.
We should have got the armor from Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. And it sounds like there will be alpha and beta variants, though, dyed and non-dyed versions.
That's it.
Yep.
That's pretty much it. But even in World, the difference between like alpha and beta, like they're aesthetically, they're two different things. And you know, stat wise and talent wise, they're two different things. So why couldn't it be that in 14? It kind of broke my soul a little bit. I was hoping that we would get a little bit. I was hoping we would get some Rathalos armor, and I'm like, yeah, this is no.
14.
I look like I'm
all glam.
I look like I'm in 14. Yeah, it's glam. I look like I'm in 14.
Yeah. If it's gonna just be glam, I'd rather it be straight from Monster Hunter. Then we have meat.
Yeah, we get furnishings. We get the spit with the meat. Now the spit does not play the music. I'm going to be so fucking pissed.
How's it going to play the music, Sly?
Whenever you have the spit, it's a Monster Hunter thing. Whenever you have the spit and you break it out anytime on the map in Monster Hunter, you get the music. I want the music.
It doesn't say in the unofficial translations it does anything separate, but I see other people who say that other things do it, but I'm just saying. I mean, I'm not okay. I'm not against it, but I just don't have that expectation.
What if it can actually burn the meat?
That would be fucked up. I mean, someone's always got to be there.
Yeah,
but I'm more for cooking pork, to be honest. We got Poogie. Want some bacon?
Okay, see that's not fair because my Poogie is actually named Bacon. I don't cook him.
Well, you've doomed him to an undeniable fate.
His name is Bacon, and like that's my boy. Please, in Monster Hunter, pick up your Poogies. Pet your Poogies. Pick up your Poogies.
Or your baby behemoths, whichever they are.
Yeah, or your baby behemoths, which Poogie will be a baby behemoth.
Aloha's still sitting on my desk, by the way, for everyone who's wondering. He's still sitting right here. He's just sitting next to my hand, and he keeps putting his paw on my hand because he's sitting next to the mouse, and I keep touching his side.
So we get two minions on the 14 top. We get the Poogie, and then of course you get the Palico. That I wasn't expecting as a minion.
Yeah, because in a previous interview they just said the Palico was the quest giver, and they said the Palico is not a minion. So
no,
he is also a minion.
So no.
He is the quest giver, but he is also a minion. So we got the Palico.
Customizable Palicos would have been a thing. I want my Pookie.
I just want I want my Palico to look like Aloha.
Yeah.
It'll be as rebellious as Aloha is.
But then again, not only that, we do get him out. You defeat you defeat. I was about to say Behemoths. I'm thinking Dauntless. You defeat Rathalos. You get Rathalos as a mount.
So I guess the question is extreme only?
I would think so.
I would think so too.
Mm-hmm. You gotta work for them. You gotta work.
Yeah, I mean it's a good thing to get people into the extreme mode. That's for certain.
Definitely.
I plan on
now. I have people who said that's like they will not sleep until they get everything from Rathalos. I kind of agree with that. I'm on that table. I'm in that demographic where like that's gonna be the first thing I do before I go into Pagos is get everything from the Monster Hunter event. So yeah.
I won't. I'll probably be all like a few times and then I'll go over to Pagos. And then I'll swap between the two daily. It depends, but I have to see how much fun the 4-man itself actually is. And I want to see about 1-manning it, so that would be a fun prospect, I think.
So happy. Another question, and the last question I have about the event. What do you think the conversion will be for both people from I know.
I don't
for
think
people from the 14 side and for people from the Monster Hunter side to come. For people from the 14 side to go over to Monster Hunter and play Monster Hunter, and people from the Monster Hunter side to give 14 a try. What do you think the conversion rate?
I feel like most people who are playing one are probably already planning to or have already played the other. So I don't think it's going to have much of conversion.
But see, that has to be the strategy for these events, though. Like conversion for both sides.
It's probably the strategy, but I don't think it's going to do a whole lot. Like, seriously, someone who had no intention of playing Monster Hunter, right? They're going to go through the 20, 30 hours of the main campaign just to fight the behemoth.
No. I mean, they'll eventually get to it and give it some thought, maybe.
It's not going to happen. That's their motivation to get them into Monster Hunter. They're not going to get there. Who's going to get to fucking level 70 in Stormblood in 14 just for the Rathalos? That's even less likely.
I mean, I'll agree with you there. Even though some people have actually committed to that. I know.
August 2nd. Hey, no, August 7th. Hey, guys, jump potions are on sale today. What do you know, right?
Yeah. Let me go into POTD and get something leveled real quick. Yeah.
So I got to do the story. I'm just saying I don't think conversion is much of a concept when it comes to this particular event. Because I don't think they can expect it to be that high.
But it's always a concept in every event.
That's like the whole point of a collaboration.
Right.
It's cross-promotion.
It's cross-promotion. But still, they had to think of conversion.
Maybe they did, but it's not gonna be that high, I don't think. It's fucking awesome, but it's not gonna relate much in the way of conversion.
Okay.
At least I don't think.
I don't think.
If they make an announcement that says mad conversion happened, cool.
We would need some form of census data on it, and I know Lucky Boncho is not going to do it. Hopefully the official 14 does some kind of like.
They'll never do it.
They'll never do it.
They'll never do it. I like Crass here. It was like, it's funny because the Yokai Watch collaboration made me really never want to play Yokai Watch. It was like the opposite of conversion.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just no, don't have
Explosion, did you really say that out loud?
The Yokai event did kind of make me interested in Yokai Watch. Then I did it. Oh, so bad. Anyway, that was it for the Monster Hunter event. But I'm looking forward to it. August 7th for the Final Fantasy XIV Rathalos fight. August 2nd for the Monster Hunter World Behemoth encounter. Then there was just the announcement section at the end, but the very first announcement was probably the thing people were hoping they would address at some point or another. FanFest. So Sly, we didn't do a show last week because I was away. I on Tuesday I also had to do an event where I wasn't available. And so while I was at said event, I looked on my phone and saw a shitstorm of everything involving FanFest sales ticket purchases.
Yep.
And everyone was like, Haps, what do you think? Haps, what do you think? What happened? What do you think? What do you think? And I'm like, I'm going to wait
All right. So now's the time. Haps, what do you think?
I think I was waiting for exactly the statement that was made because I had a feeling it was exactly the statement we were going to get. That's not a bad thing. So,
Okay.
Foxclawn spoke English for this part. He acted as translator for Yoshida, which isn't something we get to enjoy too often.
It was serious.
He also knew that the only people he was speaking to spoke English.
Yeah.
He didn't need, like, there's no point saying it in Japanese because it was, so far it's only been the American pre-orders. So, first he said back in 2016, last time for Fan Festival, took 10 hours for NA tickets to sell. They were expecting a similar turnout, but so they still made more tickets available than last time. But in about 2 minutes, 6,000 people entered the queue to purchase tickets. While that was happening...
Now, the difference... I'll say this. The difference between 2016... Was it 2016 or
2016 and 2018. Those are the 2 years.
Okay. So 2016 was where they had to do a evening queue, I believe. Because or was that the very first?
I don't know. I'm just listening because it sounds like my cat's making noises.
Okay.
I don't remember.
Yeah, but
I don't remember.
I remember it was either the first or second one. I had to do an evening. Oh, no, 16. No, 16 was fine. Because, okay. Yeah, so the very first one was 2014 at the Rio. There was an evening queue because the site crashed. Because everybody was ordering tickets like way too fast. And like the site couldn't handle it. So they shut it down. It's like, hey, people got tickets. Okay. We're going to do an evening queue. Be back at this time and order tickets. And that's how I got tickets to the first Fan Fest. Second, meh. But yeah, this one, what can I say that hasn't already been said?
My thing is the game has gotten so much more marketing going into 2017, 2018, than it had prior. 2014 was the first Fan Fest. There was virtually no marketing, and even that one sold out quick. But the venue was super small.
Yeah, very small. Even though it's the same venue as this year.
Yeah, but the difference is there's more space. Like there's a lot more space in the Rio that they did not rent last time. So I'm assuming they've got a lot more space this time. 2016 was the second Fan Fest, and the venue is bigger. I'd assume they sold more tickets, and it just didn't take as long. I mean, there was still like no marketing for the game up to that point. Like the marketing for the first Fan Fest, at least they were still kind of riding hey, we just relaunched their failed game kind of thing a year later. So everyone wants to see, what's the first expansion for it going to be? Like the excitement's still there. With Heaven, I swapped the scenes back over to Reddit by accident. Then into the second one, the first expansion hype had kind of died down at that point. Like people wanted to know what the second expansion was. People were following it kind of, and people wanted to go. It was a bigger venue. There was not nearly as much kind of like initial hype, I guess, as there was for the first one. And now with all the marketing and the number of people that have kind of signed up for the game with Stormblood, it's been a pretty massive increase according to Yoshida himself in terms of concurrent subscribers, without giving us the actual number. There's just a lot more people that intended to visit or intended to attend this time. And I foresaw that being a problem, and I remembered the Rio from last time, and I was concerned about something like this happening in the first place. But it's not really just the ticket selling out that people were concerned about. It was the means through which some people acquired their ticket. Apparently, about 500 people had their code input requirement disabled. Meaning they did not need that code that was emailed to us several days or about a week in advance in order to actually get into the ticket line. However, apparently they've already gone through and could not find proof of any of those 500 individuals being ineligible purchases. Meaning they were players who were already eligible for the purchase. They just happened to have their code disabled, according to their investigation and their statement.
But that's only one issue. There are, I think, other issues, other bigger issues.
For me, the other issues is just there was a shit ton of people and it had trouble. It's like it's like getting any ticket for any highly anticipated event. It's like no different for me than that. Maybe I'm just used to this because I've had this happen with things that are not 14 related before.
Okay. There are a bunch of other people who wanted to get it. Yes. Who legitimately, that's the key word for me, legitimately wanted to get in. And the reason I say that is there are other people who purchase tickets for the only means to sell said tickets at a higher profit.
Yeah. Which are apparently were still players, which is, what are you going to do? Like, if the thing is, apparently everyone who made a ticket purchase was someone who had a code, even if some people did. Like, What are you going to do about that? Like, other than make it so that there's an additional process in there.
Yeah, there has to be an additional process there because you have to realize they're like, you're talking to the game who has RMT. Like in every game has every MMO has RMT. So you're talking to a community base that has RMT. Why would this slip your mind? That people were going to buy tickets with the intention of selling them at a higher price. Why would that slip your mind? And the fact that the tickets are non-transferable means that they're stuck with tickets and they can't do anything with them. Whereas people who legitimately wanted to get in, not resell their tickets, not anything like that, not make a profit, but actually get into the venue, meet with their friends, yada, 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 don't have tickets because of people like this.
Ultimately, if these people don't attend the event, one of two things happens. They're either out a bunch of money, so they got fucked. All right.
Mm-hmm.
2, they send their tickets back and they do a second set. They did that with the other FanFest. They had like second waves where like tickets had been canceled in a sense, so then they do like a second wave of a queue and whatnot, and it's just like whatever tickets are remaining. So either way, either the person who made the purchase is getting fucked, or they're unfucking themselves, and then other people get unfucked. I think the problem actually was the venue was too small. I think it was just that they underestimated how many people were going to want to attend. I think that might be the biggest problem.
And that's my thing. Like, why revisit the Rio? We've gone down this path before. We've been there. We were there. We know how small the Rio was. We know how loud the Rio was. Why revisit that venue?
I don't know. Well, like I said, the Rio has a lot more space. It's not the problem's not necessarily revisiting the Rio. Not the Rio in particular. It's that the venue overall needs to be big. Like even the venue we had last year, the Rio can be as big as that venue or bigger. Mm-hmm. But they also, I'm pretty sure, could have just gone back to the Paris and got more space there. Also, I don't know if there was any more space in the Paris. I don't know. I don't think there was. But no, I think, was it across? I don't remember. Paris. Either way, it just wasn't enough.
I think they do downplay the popularity of FanFest and the popularity of 14 to the point where, they kind of go with I wouldn't say smaller venues. Yeah, you're right. They can request more space. Like, I want to know what the budget is for events like this.
Now you're never going to find out.
Yeah, we're never going to find that out, but I would love to know what the budget is.
Whatever the budget is, divide our ticket cost by that, and that's probably like that's how many tickets they sell.
Yeah, because like we could probably get a larger venue like the MGM Grand or something like that. Like where they had the fights. God damn it. Where they had the fights. And, basically do the same thing.
It's going to be... Listen, I still think FanFest is going to be great. It sucks so many people wanted to attend and couldn't. Bigger venue next time.
Please.
That's it.
That's it.
Besides, at the MGM Grand, they can really make the feast tournaments look a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That is where the fights are. That is where legit fights happen. That is where blood is legitimately spilled. Yeah, I figure no better place for a PvP tournament than the Grand.
Just set up all the computers in the middle of the ring.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. That's it. Anyway, that's it. I mean, they commented on it. They said, they were still eligible purchases. They just managed to get through without an access code. That's it. Current number's not enough, but the next NA FanFest, there'll be a lot more ticket sales. They've also said they might consider what they do in Japan, which I really don't want, which is the lottery sales.
And see, that was another concern because remember, before, like when they announced FanFest, they announced a tour from Japan to Las Vegas, right?
Yeah.
What did that do for? How did this affect them? We don't know. We really don't know. So,
all I know is anytime I've ever been in a lottery system for something, I've never gotten through. So
horrible RNG on my side.
So on that front, I just don't want it for that case. So
yeah,
no, thank you. Moving on, we have the Rising event coming up soon, August 26th or 20th. They didn't actually say the date for the event, for like the in-game event, but the anniversary is on the 27th, so normally 26th or 27th is usually like 26th at 10 a.m. PDT, or I'm sorry, 7 a.m. PDT or 8 a.m. PDT or something like that. When it hits midnight in Japan is like a somewhat expected time, or even like the 6th at like 1 a.m. PDT or some shit like that. They have the 14-hour broadcast. There will be another letter from the producer live there. So that's going to be 4.4 part 2. This is where we get the assumption of September 11th for 4.4, because the general pattern is like 10 days after a live letter is the patch. And it's going to be, by the time they do it, it'll probably be September 1st. So 10 days. There you go. Simple as that. And they'll have a bunch of other stuff. They always have a bunch of entertainment and panels and stuff like that. And the rest of the announcements is they have a float that's going to be at the, let me blow this up, up here at the Aomori Nobuta Matsuri. They're going to have 2 different floats there. They're selling bracelets with by collaborating with Chanlu bracelets. So they have Jobstone bracelets. Those are going to be 14,000 yen, and they will be doing NA and EU pre-orders in the future, so it's not a Japan exclusive thing. There's a vote for your favorite song from the 5 different soundtracks thing that's going on. I think that's on the Lodestone right now, as a matter of fact. And those are going to be, the winners are going to be placed on an album scheduled to release this fall. There's another free login campaign coming up. It's already started. July 16th to
already started today.
August 2nd. They'll be at Gamescom. They have the Eorzean Symphony in Germany. They got Heaven on Fries at Eorzea Cafe, even though it's onion.
I love that name.
It's onion rings though, but it's just the name is too good. So yeah, it's just the name is too good. So it has to go there. The funny thing is they're doing a new thing for the 4th anniversary of Eorzea Cafe. For every 10 items you order, you get an acrylic stand for one of the 15 shops. So I hope you're fucking hungry, ready to order 150 things to collect them all. Yeah. Spriggan plushies, those are available for pre-order now.
Creepy.
And then probably the most exciting thing from the announcements, we are getting part 2 of Encyclopedia Eorzea.
At FanFest for us.
Yep.
So better hope you're ready to stand in line. Hopefully you get it.
Yep.
Now, again, hate to revisit a point, but the whole ticket fiasco, that's what I'm calling it, scares me. Scares me a little because of what merch is going to be like.
Merch is always bad. Okay, it's just always bad. It's even if they let us pre-order and pick it up, somehow something's going to go wrong. They don't intend for it to go that way. It just happens. There's just too many people.
Just let us pre-order.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. Agreed. I think they did it for the other 2 FanFests last time after NA. They hate us. They just hate us.
They just hate us.
That's it. They just hate us. But it's going to be 300-ish pages of new information. So it's not... It is a full volume 2. It is not a regurgitation of the first one with new stuff. It is a second volume. So we're fucked in Aerzivia.
Yep.
Yep. I mean, there's gonna be pictures and stuff in there. Maybe we could just focus on those, you know. Comes with a Matoya's hat in-game item. 2 pages dedicated to Magnai's unsuccessful love life. Looking for
that I would be interested in.
Looking for
I would be interested in. Yeah.
Yeah. And that was the last thing they announced. It was a good bombshell to drop on, because they kept, like, literally, I think at E3 or like the thing before that, they were just like, that's, you know, if we ever do it again, you know, it's so much work. PAX East, Koji was like, oh, you know, if we ever do it again, it's so much work, and not right now. They had to have already been working on it.
He was trolling you.
Yeah. They had to have already been working on it at that point. So he knew that he just couldn't say anything. It's one of those things like, I really want to say something, but I can't. So all the same, there was a lot of things in the live letter that just, in classic 4.4 part 1 live letter in general fashion, it was very thin. A lot of very thin announcements, but overall we got Monster Hunter World, and we got Encyclopedia Orzia and 4.4 info. So we Gucci, Sly.
Gooch and a cooch.
There you go. So if that's a wrap for that, then I think that's a wrap for the show too. Then today, yeah.
Yeah, it's a pretty lengthy show.
Yeah, pretty lengthy. I mean,
for a thin live letter, pretty lengthy show.
Well, we get to discuss these things. They take 2 seconds to announce it. We can take 20 minutes to discuss it. At least I can.
Yeah.
But then again, you all knew that. You all knew that anyway. That's not news. So let's just do the closure, and then we'll wrap up. I'll do the sponsor list. We'll close out, and then Octopath. All right. Exactly. Yeah. Good news.
Yeah.
All right. So thank you everyone for watching this week's episode of State of the Realm. Before we wrap things up, though, we got to thank our sponsors over on Patreon. Now, this list is 100% out of date because I was away last week, and I know there are some changes that need to be made. But all the same, I'm just going to read the list like I would normally. We have, of course, our Patron of Light, one of our top sponsors. We have Khuja Cross and the Advent FC on Jenova with the screenshot that they provide. See, these are the people that need group posts. I suck at screenshots. I don't take screenshots like this. I'm just saying, like,
that is extreme.
That's why the group post settings are so important, Sly, because then good screenshots like that happen, and you don't have to deal with mine.
Right.
So thank you, Khuja Cross, for supporting as you have over the past several months. We do have several other names on that list. We have our standard sponsors. We have Just One Fox, Shadow Link on the Tomberry server, Dom, Asuka Wake on the Jenova server, Lemilionella of Midgard Summer, Sarah and the Avalanche family on Marlboro, Rynoet Chikara. Oh, this is another one I always forget to update. This is a name that's here, and I always forget to update it. I don't have the page open, but this person knows who they are. Nyark of Clan Vizsla, Kifkin, the Grey Eagle on Exodus, Dark Graver, Katayoshi, Skia Symphonia, Rah Xephon from Exodus, Rylanator, Westaur, the Purple Warrior, Eadric Redsteele on Exodus, Lexxie Valentine, Mantaru the Rivivus FC from Zodiark, Sour Cream and Chives from Jenova, Rynoet Chikara, Goetia Valefar of Siren, Hersh vs. Faerie, Phoenix Down FC on Goblin, and Serren from Zodiark. We have our elite sponsors. We have Kana Uzuki from the Jenova server, Yu Starla on Coral, Sathal, Sarah Frost from Behemoth, Diablo, Holy Tabasco, Red Thorn Asura, Kurenai Oni, Askin Hawk, Oscar, Crash015, Mustang, the Serenity FC on Ultros, Cat Kazuma, Serial Kira on Cactar, Ignis Fairgun from Diablos, Valestra of Fanfret, Knock Quarters from Excalibur, Corvus Moonscar, Private Mikey, Spike, Nighting Kurosami, Rudy Rudiger, Tin Colossus, Killer Hackman, Raul Jr., and Kiltastic Jones.
They asked me to do a face. I'm sorry.
Yeah. That O face, Sly?
Yeah.
All right. I think you need to work on your O face, to be honest, because I looked over.
Yeah, I can't do it like Forrest. Forrest does the best O face. So.
He was like, there you go. For those our audio only listeners, are gonna be really fucking confused by that little. Like, exactly. What do they look like right now? So Sly, why don't we take this opportunity to let you tell everyone where they can find you at, my good sir? You
can find me at twitch.tv/Sly, aka Greyfox. You can find me on Instagram at Sly, aka Greyfox07. Find me on YouTube.com/The Velvet Room. Twitter at Slythefox. I have a Switch now. So, if you want to come by, I have a command for my friend code. If you want to add me, I have Octopath and Mario Kart. I plan on doing Mario Kart races after Octopath. So if you want to come in and join that, it's a fuck show, but it's fun. You're more than welcome. And happy working day, find you.
You can find me, Mr. Happy127, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, at Mr. Happy1227. I am playing Octopath a lot. I have plans for some videos on it once we actually get through with it. I've completed all 8 of the character stories, and now we are exploring some of the post-game content, which has been mildly spoiled for me, but it was also mildly by my own expectation that what would transpire, because I've been paying attention to all the stories since Chapter 1. So I'm hoping to have a good time, and I'm going to be playing that in like 5 minutes. So if you want to see some of the post-game stuff, I'm eating the dude. I've been eating the chicken. Like, I streamed 17 hours the other day. I streamed 17 hours yesterday. I'm streaming that much today right now. I've got to get through it.
It happens. You get spoiled when everybody eats the chicken, and they want to talk about that chicken, how good that chicken is. They want to talk about it. It happens.
It's good. It's good chicken.
It's good chicken.
It's pretty damn
the music
good
goes
chicken.
well with that. Music goes well with that chicken.
Yeah.
Like, and I was memeing when I said that, but the music really goes well with that. Like, get the soundtrack for the chicken, please. It's good.
The soundtrack for the chicken. I just imagine a chicken with a boombox, just like.
Like, seriously, get the soundtrack for that chicken. That is a good soundtrack. Like, it's one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in years.
Damn right. Damn right. All right, Sly, on that note, though, I think we're ready to wrap up the show. I have no idea what next week's show is about, but that's only because I haven't been paying attention to anything outside of... Don't give me that face. That's Aloha, no. Stop. I'm playing Octopath. Anyway, so on that note, I think we can wrap up the show. And we'll see everyone next week for whatever that's going to be about. Oh, quick reminder. Shout out to the world first 7 on high solo to 100. Somebody did it. Aaliyah Nicole, I think was the name.
It was a red match.
Yes, it was.
Shout out to you. Congratulations. Congrats.
It was pretty. They did it with 40 seconds left. They had 2 minutes left on floor 98. Magicite did floor 99, and then barely enough time. So, fucking G. Congratulations to that person. It was awesome. I watched the whole thing. But anyway, I will see all of you in 5 minutes, and we'll see you together, both of us at the same place. We'll be here next week.
All right. Take care. See you next week.
Bye. And